I'm Insomniac.
Bafangul.
And this is Shooting the Shit.
And I'm Pops.
I'm Insomniac.
And I'm Pops.
And this is Shooting the Shit.
Yeah, a.k.a. chatting with Pops your ass.
Today's topic is from Caleb, with a last name that I'm not going to try to pronounce and ruin, so I'll put it on screen there. And it is, what is one hobby/skill that you have tried and hated or failed miserably at? Also, what is a hobby that you really want to get into? Apparently reading is a hobby I'd like to get into because I'm not doing that very well tonight.
I would say skill. You got hobby/skill. I would call it skill that I have put my hand to. I would say it would be pretty much in the whole construction field. I mean, when I was much younger, my old man, from the time I was about 12 years old, took me, he had a side painting business. He worked for the union for forever. He was a union painter. And on the side, he had a business with the oldest brother. And when I was 12, he started taking me on jobs and have me painting radiators, maybe baseboards. So, and that actually went on and on, even though you know that I'm a musician and always was. As I got older, I would work during the day and burn the candles at both ends. I'd have to get up 7, 8 in the morning and go paint houses in it, inside, outside. And you know, I was good at it, but I hated it. I hated it. Let me tell you something. When you have to climb up a ladder 40 feet in the air or more and tie that ladder off on a really windy day, and you don't know if you're coming down off that ladder with the ladder, meaning you're going to get hurt really bad, if not maimed or killed. I never liked that, man. But so again, you know, so and then I can't say hobby. This, I'm talking about a skill, the other half. I didn't try my hand. I was a painter and worked. That's what I did during the day, and played music just about every night when I was younger. But also in the same area of things, I put my hand to some carpentry, drywall type thing, you know, repair, you know, just anything in that, plumbing, you know. And I'm okay, you know, I'm okay at it. But I got to say, all honesty and truthfulness, I hate all these trades. I don't hate them because they're great trades. They help people. People are helping people. They're good at it. And that's wonderful. But I'm saying I hated it. Even though my trade actually was in that trade and did it a long time and actually worked in it, I would say that I hated it because it was just like, oh, it's work. You know, it's hard work. And unless you love to paint or you love to do anything I'm saying, and then you're good. You're golden. But I'm a musician, and when I do that in any way, shape, or form or facet, I'm golden. So, you know, I'm good and I'm blessed. So that's my take on that. That would be it. And then the other part was, what would you like to do? That's the tough part of this question you asked.
Maybe you could think about it while I take a turn.
Go for it.
Being that there was 2 people here.
Go for it.
And 2 parts of the question.
Yeah.
We're 66 episodes in and he doesn't know the format yet.
Bafanabla.
Which is he answers the part, then I answer
You're
the part.
a jerky bastard.
You
Just
answer
go ahead.
another part.
Go ahead.
Then I answer another part.
Go ahead. Go.
Well, now I need another 15 seconds.
He's eating fucking apples, fucking grapes, eating granola. What the fuck? He ain't drinking no more.
You mentioned the grocery
It's
store over
better,
there?
though.
There's no grapes or granola.
Go ahead. Tell the guy what.
I just can't reach the whiskey. Now it's behind all that shit.
Come on. All right.
Alright, I'm getting there. 1 second.
He tells me let him talk, and he's fucking eating an apple. Come on.
I'm working on it.
Because the other part of that question I will be a while thinking about, because...
So what are you rushing me for?
Well, you're supposed to be telling him something.
I'm working on it. Give me 1 second.
Look at this fucking jackass.
Edit it out or something.
Come on, jackass. Don't edit it out. Leave it in. You're a screwball. Good Lord Almighty.
Okay. So I really actually, for once, thought about this topic off camera for a while. I have not tried a hobby or a skill. I'm not saying this in a braggadocious way. I have not tried a hobby or a skill that I'm not good at. Mostly though because I really put time and thought when I'm going to try something into something that I really want to do, and then I just go all the way to hell in.
Do it!
So anything that I've wanted to try or get into, I enjoyed it and was at least pretty good at it. Where I'll take it for this part actually isn't necessarily a hobby or a skill, but what was going to be a potential career. I mentioned this in another episode, but I'll elaborate just a little bit. My whole childhood, I wanted to be a car designer. And in high school, I took a course in tech drawing and AutoCAD because I figured out that that's a big part of designing a car. Of course, when I was younger, I didn't know that really had anything to do with it, because you see like sketches and you see a clay model, and then you see a car, and you're like, wow, that seems like awesome. I have these ideas, I can sketch a car. Me and a team of other assholes could make a clay model, and then shit, maybe people will be driving that fucker. So I was like, this will be pretty, what?
Go ahead, just keep going.
So I was like, this will be
Fucking
great.
cunts.
And then it was like, oh, but in between the sketch and the clay model, you have the actual tech drawing process. You have to know how to use CAD. So I took that course. I learned that in class, and it was fairly simple for me, to the extent that I learned it easily. There was no issue there. But it was horrible. Like, I absolutely hated it, to the extent that, like, a couple weeks into that class, I was basically just like, wow, I wanted to be a car designer my whole life. Now I better start thinking of a plan B, because CAD sucks. Sorry for those of you who have to work with it. Man, if I had to do that every day, I would shoot myself at work. Yeah, so that's kind of is your question. Kind of not, because it's not a hobby or a skill. It was a potential career, but yeah, the hobbies and skills that I have seem to have worked out well.
And now, the last part of the question was, what hobby or skill would you like to do?
It was, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck?
Yeah, that's about it, because I forgot already.
If a woodchuck could chuck wood. What's a hobby that you really want to get into?
That's a tough question.
Prostitution.
And now a hobby.
Oh.
This ain't,
That's
this
a
ain't like
career.
the other part. A hobby I'd like to get into. Wow.
Pimping.
Nah. All I could do is go back to a hobby. Well, I guess it's a hobby. Years ago, I would ride the motorcycles a little bit. Never owned anything myself too long. Uncle Mike took that other motorcycle. That's something I would love to go back to, but just riding, that's an incredible hobby. When you do it, it's really, really like you're kind of free blowing out there in the breeze, and people who ride understand. For the little bit I did it was a lot of fun, it was a thrill, and I guess I have to go back to that. So it's not something I didn't do. This is something I did do, but briefly. But I would love to go back to that hobby. Other hobbies. When I think of hobbies, I think about like when I was a kid. You're building model cars, or you have a slot car. I'm going way back now, way back. Not like the remote control cars. Yeah, I think of hobbies. I think of things like that.
No, a hobby is things like you don't have in your actual life, which is just something that you enjoy, that you spend some time doing.
Yeah, well, I guess.
It literally is anything.
Yeah, I would say riding them, going back to, which I didn't do, but briefly in my life.
Slot cars.
Yeah.
What
slot
the
cars,
fuck is slot cars?
Slot cars were cool,
Is that wooden track thing from 1901?
And them cars went really fast. That was cool. Actually did all these kind of little hobbies when I was young. But yeah, I could, only thing I could come up with for me is to go back to riding again, because riding's fucking great. And then there's shooting, we did do that a little, but we haven't really made it a hobby where we keep at it, not exactly cheap hobby.
Yeah, let's be honest on camera here, that's why we're not shooting.
Yeah, not exactly a cheap hobby.
The only time I could get him to go to the range is if it's my birthday, because then I say, we're going shooting. And then he complains while he's paying for the ammo. Or else we'd be shooting. We have guns.
Yeah, man, I friggin' shoot 22s like, oh, big, like, oh, that's cheap. But anyway, yeah, so that's the thing, yeah, we do. I enjoy that hobby. It's, again, though, you're asking a hobby to get into. But, definitely shooting is, I do enjoy it. Either one of those two things, shooting more, definitely riding. I would love to go back to riding. So I guess that's what I got on that. This is a interesting topic. So what would you want to get into?
One of them's kind of related to yours, but a different level. I've wanted to do competitive shooting for quite a while.
Yeah.
And the only reason I have guns, I shoot well. The only reason I don't do it is because I live in New Jersey, and there is nowhere here. I want to do like ASPSA or something like that. There's no competitive shooting clubs or anything like that around here. Nothing close.
There's shooting clubs.
Yeah, where people stand in the range and shoot paper. I'm talking about that you've never seen the.
No, I saw you.
I want to actually, do some courses and whatnot. But, yeah, I'd need to go to another state. So one day when I live somewhere else. But, actually, the main one that comes to mind for me is guitar. And this is you're probably all thinking, what the fuck are you talking about? Because we see you playing guitar in the beginning of this show. Every single time we see it, you already play guitar. And I actually know guitar well enough that I taught beginning guitar for a long time. But I never took it to where I think I'm actually any good or very good at all.
Oh, you're very good.
Yeah, I'm decent.
See, I know way more than him, and technically you can play better than me.
Not about guitar, you don't.
No, I know a lot more about theory and what I'm playing. I don't know more about what I'm playing.
I grew up in music theory, just not playing guitar.
No, but I know what I'm playing. You don't, and he'll admit this, which is really cool. He's really good. He doesn't necessarily know what he's picking out. I kind of know what I'm playing. I know what chords I'm playing, what keys, and all that. So, but you even said you pick off voicings. You don't even know what you're playing. What? You said with your own mouth you didn't know that.
You're a pro guitar player, huh?
No, I'm okay. I'm pretty good. I'm not phenomenal. I'm okay. A lot of people think I'm great.
I guess I got nothing to learn.
No, I'm saying you're really good. But like you said, you even said it with your own mouth. That's why he's saying he wants to go and play guitar.
Like when I write, I don't actually know every chord, or when like a lot of the things, even at the beginning of this show, I basically wrote that and didn't know what any of the chords were.
Well, that's
I could do that by ear,
which is awesome. That's fucking great.
I'm trying to figure out where you learned all kinds of guitar theory.
No, but I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing when I'm playing it. I don't like
What chords did I play in the beginning in the intro of this show?
I never looked at what you did. But what I'm saying is, I never looked at what you did. I can't tell you. But what I'm saying to you is, if I make up something or come up with stuff like I do,
that's not a fair assessment, because you use chords that you know and that's it. I go way outside the box to put.
So that's even better.
To put together a combination of things that I think sounds right, even if I don't know what the chord is.
I'm saying that's real. This guy, he's too much. No talking to this guy. It's always a fucking argument.
Because I know a ton of chords, but if I only use those chords...
But do you know them?
That's all.
I mean, you actually do know them?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, I wasn't aware of that.
I teach guitar.
You always keep saying, well, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I just play. Oh, okay.
I know a bunch of who gives a shit scales. I know a lot of chords.
Oh, all right. Well, that's not what you say to me.
I know most of the notes and the positions.
But he'll make up voicings and chords and stuff like he did in the song, the beginning of this, which he did. Which is really cool, and it's like saying you don't know what he's doing.
All right, well, I guess kind of moving on from that debate.
Well, I was under the impression that when you play, you didn't really know a lot of what you were playing, but he plays great.
No, it's just that when I write, I don't ever think about, I want to use this chord or that chord or what fits in this key. I can hear which notes go together, and I just kind of put together something based on the melody line that I hear.
See,
but I don't have enough guitar knowledge to always know what the hell I'm doing.
See, and now I don't. When I play, and I'm a good player, but he's got way more talent in that sense, I kind of go off what I know I'm doing and then try to make sure it's sounding right. So, he's got a lot of ability. But what he was saying there, go ahead and finishes.
Well, I guess what I was saying I wanted to do, I've always wanted, but now I just don't have the time. What I've always wanted to do is actually learn guitar to the fullest. Because I'm a drummer, I love that, but I haven't been playing in bands lately and whatnot. In drums, I don't care what anybody says. It's not a fucking solo instrument. I don't really enjoy playing.
Well, today you can make.
Yeah, I know everybody does that, but I don't enjoy playing drums by myself. I enjoy playing in a band setting. By myself, I love playing guitar. But now I feel like when I do play with it, I definitely hit certain walls and know that I have quite a bit of limitations. So I would like to learn guitar really well.
So do I.
So I could dive into that sickness, because that just turns into blowing thousands of dollars in guitars and gear.
I mean, I didn't bring that up. I would love to be more serious too. But I just don't have the drive. Let's say you don't have the time. I don't have the drive. It's like, I love this instrument. I dig it, and I'm doing things with it. But I know I could be phenomenal with it too, I've been told, but and if you've seen us both play, as you've seen the beginning, or we both ever whip the guitar and play, it'd be like, what are these two freaking knuckleheads talking about? But, you know, when you play an instrument, and all our friends that play know this, you're always like, well, I'm all right, yeah, like, you know, I'm not that great, you know. But you can learn to be way better, which is something I started to do and then stopped. And
one day I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, you know, so
competitive shooting and a lot better at guitar.
So
this was 66, I think, episode 66. And
66.
A lot happier episode than the last one, that's for sure.
Yeah, he had a breakdown.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I didn't even watch it. I didn't even watch it.
Why didn't you watch it? It was a good time.
It was a fucking ridiculous debauchery.
It was only 9 minutes
long. It was
long.
a fucking abortion.
Basically.
It was fucking terrible. And we apologized for that shit. He should apologize.
Yeah, I'm sorry to the patrons.
Yeah.
To the patrons.
I'm sorry to all these.
Speaking of stuff, sign up on Patreon. You're not gonna anyway, so I'm not gonna say anything else about it. And you know,
I mean, I don't know who's seeing this show, but you know, I mean, these days we've been taking the topics and being quite serious and laid back. We ain't entertaining you with nonsense and craziness. But hey, you know, those of you that are out there, if you I've said this before, if you want the wild and crazy shit, then yeah, let us know.
Or if you want Pops Reacts to YouTube videos Part 2, leave it in the comments.
And believe me, I don't want to do that, but hey.
It's not about what you want, it's about what the patrons want.
But hey, we have some diehard people here that really like this episode, and I appreciate that you do.
You mean this segment?
This segment.
You don't know if they like the episode, they haven't seen it yet.
Right, well, right, yeah. This segment. And we really do. And there's some really cool guys here. We appreciate you guys. And I wish more would come on, like $1 a month or something. Man, you could watch us and crack up at us because I know we're fucking funny. I mean, even
looking.
No, but I remember Matt saying about getting a stitch in the side. Matt, he had cracked me up when he wrote that. I had a stitch in my side. That's good. I'm glad I can make you fucking laugh. I ain't even trying to make somebody laugh. That's been my whole life. Okay, so there you go.
I have cigars to review.
And there again, the joke's on me. All right, so, afango.